Welcome back. Today I'm gonna tell you about the synopsis of Extraordinary Attorney Wu Episode 8. Episode 8 of Extraordinary Attorney Wu begins with Young-woo waking up at Tongorami's place. After the fight with her father, Young-woo has decided that she's going to move out properly, making a big step as she's an adult. Unfortunately, things take a turn for the worse when she shows up at work. Unaware of what Minwoo has done, news leaks of Youngwoo's connection with the CEO and her father, including how she's been handed the job at Hanbada. Of course, Suyeon knows immediately that Minwoo is responsible, given their little chat, but Youngwoo is still unaware as they attend the morning meeting. This time, though, the CEO joins them to listen in on how they're getting on. She also gives them some encouragement and urges them not to lose against Taesumi. After the meeting, Suyeon shows off the news from the bulletin board. Defeated, Young-woo brings up how she has benefited from nepotism. However, Suyeon sticks up for her, fighting Young-woo's cause and pointing out how not hiring her in the first place is a form of discrimination given her autism. Suyeon encourages her to fight back against Minwoo and shows that she really does belong there. Hanbada law firm and Teksumi's group both show up at Sototong, awaiting the judge who agreed last episode to show up and check the town out. It's a miserable day and both law firms join the judge as they're led through the town. However, Hengmin and several other townsfolk have actually consented to the road, given Tesumi has over double what they were originally offered as compensation. Myung-suk sees right through this and believes it's all a ploy to fill out the townsfolk. Unfortunately, 343 of the 488 households in town have actually consented to this new compensation amount, and as a result, it swung things in the prosecution favor. The thing is, an actual amount hasn't been confirmed, and Myung-suk is concerned that this is a big play to swindle them and divided the town. It seems to work too, and unfortunately, it could well lead to the whole case being dismissed. To try and work out where they are in all this, Hanbada divided the town into red and blue zones. Those in blue are likely to side with the law firm. The ones in red are those who would move out after receiving compensation. It's a precarious situation though, and the tension of receiving more money and moving on is something that several residents have already succumbed to. And that number seems to be rising as Tesan works overtime to begin handing out forms to convince them to leave. In the middle of this manic door-to-door scramble, Youngwoo ends up chatting to Taesumi. She hands over her bag and brings up the wedding dress case she dealt with. Sumi is impressed and actually offers her an alternate route through the world of law. In fact, Taesumi offers her the chance to leave Hanbada and come and work with her. Sumi hands over her business card and tells Youngwoo that Taesan is going to be a better fit for her. Minwoo ends up watching from afar and eventually confronts Youngwoo, calling her shameless and admitting that what he wrote may be true, but it doesn't matter if it was him or someone else. Spurred on by this, Youngwoo decided to leave her father and packed her thing, heading out that night and deciding to stay with Kurami. Unfortunately, her dad blurs out that Taesumi is actually her mother and she can't go to Taesan. Distracted, Youngwoo loses her footing and slips down the stair. In the hospital, while Youngwoo is recovering, Woo Kwang-ho elaborates, including how he met Taesu at university and she was conceived when they weren't ready. Sumi wanted to give her up, but Kwang-ho pleaded with Sumi not to terminate. Kwang-ho offered to raise the baby himself and not take the bar exam, even going so far as to plead on his knees to let her agree, and as promised, Kwang-ho is handed little Youngwoo and a bag of things. Since then, he raised Youngwoo himself, but his silly promise to Taesumi, which now means nothing, makes him realize that he should have fought harder for Youngwoo. As they talk though, Youngwoo has a proverbial light bulb moment, realizing that the hackberry tree could be their trump card to use in the road development case. Hurry up and leave Dad, Youngwoo says savagely, bringing Junho and bringing up the suspicious way the hackberry tree could become a natural monument. Youngwoo actually rings at 3:10 a.m. though, so naturally she has to wait until the morning. When they investigate further, we learn more details about the tree. To designate the Sodok-dong hackberry tree as a natural monument, they have to ask Kyung-hae-do first. In the commit, and Denting is worried of designing a report is written up asking the cultural heritage to design it. The person who placed the violin in town, Eugene, works at the office. Questioning him, things are a little awkward, especially as he heads off to go and find the documents pertaining to when the expert arrived on hand to examine the tree. In his absence, Junho speaks to Youngwoo, who admits that she does like him. Only they're interrupted by Eugene running away. Of course, a Bigfoot chase ensues as Eugene is eventually knocked down and stopped. The reason for his running stems from the fact Eugene never actually filed the report for the tree, nor did he ask the Cultural Heritage Committee. Back then, he was convinced the subway was good for the town and decided to fake the whole thing. In court, Taesan win over the commit, but they don't win the war. Myung-suk brings up a notion that to suspend and stop proceedings. This stems from the umbrella the judge has which sports a dolphin. Sorry, an Indo-Pacific bottlenose dolphin on. This is the same one as Eugene. Youngwoo managed to stop the case for the time being, getting the one-up over Sumi. Not only that, but the permission for the hackberry tree being made a natural monument is going ahead to meaning the road will be forced to change. Another win for Youngwoo, yay! At the Sun Law Firm, Youngwoo shows up to see her mother and talk in private. Youngwoo brings up exactly who she is given their family ties and decided that she can't leave Hanbada to join Taesan. Given how she abandoned her, Sumi is shocked and Youngwoo decided to stay by her father's side after all. Do you resent me for what I've done? Taesumi asks. Youngwoo speaks plainly, bringing up how nice it was at the tree together and, with tears in her eyes, leaves the law firm. Yeah, so that's all for today. See you in the next video. Bye!